the side of Calamity specifically, so you really just have to focus on the meta, ban what is strong against what you want. What you want to play for your second ban, and just try and build yourself a strong focus on your own composition, and don't really worry too much about what Calamity is doing.
Yeah, for sure. Grace and Kestrel going to be banned away here. Kestrel, huge priority pick for both of these teams. Calamity not wanting that to go over to the Doom, and that's going to be a Lyra first lock-in here, which that has been the first pick of every game so far.
Yeah, it has. Lyra, normally Grace is banned, and Lyra will get picked up. That leaves Baron open, but most teams will opt for the Vox or the Idris normally, and then ban the Baron. I think for Calamity specifically, though, they'll probably go for the Vox and then ban away the Baron here. And that will leave Idris open for Mousesports. But I know that Apple does play a Gwen, so he may actually play Gwen into this Vox. So let's see how that's going to work out once they get to their side there. But Baron ban would make a lot of sense here. But they're going to set ban the Black Feather and leave Baron open. This is extremely risky for Calamity because Baron is actually pretty good into Vox, especially when you have a Lyra on your side.
Mate, I'm calling it right now. Baron to the lane, CP Vox in the jungle. Maybe not. Maybe that would be a little bit risky. But, I mean, taking away both Kestrel and Blackfeather,
yeah,
that as a pair of bans is not meta.
Yeah, they're targeting a jungler, so Samuel might get banned here, and then, oh, they're going to actually just take away Arden. So that means that leaves Samuel open for Calamity. We have seen Aeon on the pedal, though, and we have seen him play, for example, Koshka even. So he has a pretty deep hero pool. He's actually even played Scarf and played really well on Scarf. So are they going to secure Samuel here? Are they going to give Mousesports a weapon power laner with Samuel, which is such a strong composition with Lyra here? So let's see what Calamity is going to decide. Or they're going to secure like Cath or... oh, yeah, Cath! Cath comes out as soon as I say it. That's so funny. And now that gives Samuel over to Mousesports and Baron or Gwen here.
Yeah, I would expect, honestly, both Samuel and Baron could come out. The Catherine can do well into the Baron if you just save the Merciless Pursuit for the jump after the jump jets, or make sure you use that Storm Guard as soon as the jump jets come out and just try and reflect a ton of damage right back at Mousesports.
Now, I want to remind you guys about a terrifying composition that exists that is Vox, Catherine, and Baptiste. We've seen a couple of teams use this now. That wombo combo is horrendous to try and deal with. And that's open for Calamity right now.
Yeah, if that is... I was just going to say that, so Much was an amazing job catching that. If they do not pick Baptiste here, Calamity will most likely take it. And that's going to be a pretty devastating combo against a Mousesport. So I think they'll probably pick up the Samuel here, though. Either Samuel or Scarf into the Calamity's composition. But I think they'll probably lean towards the Samuel with the Weapon Power Glaive. And that's going to leave Baptiste for Calamity. And that's going to be a pretty solid composition and draft for Calamity. Because that's just hard to deal with when you have the Silence with the Fearsome Shade. You have two things you need to block. And that's what makes that combo so deadly. And Glaive, it's not that good into Vox. If you can like afterburn Vox into a wall and shut him down and blow him up, it would work. But you have Cath to protect the Vox. So we have Celeste here, which Cath is a good counter to Celeste. What do you think, Bacon?
Yeah, Catherine can definitely do pretty well into a Celeste. I think the idea here for Mousesports is going to be to try and use that glaive to isolate a target and then drop the core collapse underneath where they're going to get afterburn to, so that they get that double stun and just keep that target unable to really react for an extended period of time, try and blow them up in that time period. So there will be a lot of burst potential, but it's going to have to wait until sort of that 8-minute mark is, or not 8 minutes, the level 8 for the Celeste is going to be so incredibly important for Mousesports to be able to try and find these team fights. And there we go with another Krull. This Krull is starting to really become a popular pick.
People love Krull right now. Like this seems to be something that is fitting into more compositions than I was ever expecting coming into this week of the Vainglory 8.
Yeah, I like Krull into the Celeste because Celeste typically wants to build up Broken Mist stacks and then fire off that big Solar Storm. Whereas if you have Krull get onto her, yeah, she's going to build those Broken Mid stacks, but Krull's going to be building those weakness stacks. And so the Solar Storm is just going to have a significantly lower impact as long as it's executed properly.
Now, Krull earlier today didn't have that much success. Do we feel like this composition fits the Krull a little bit better?
Yeah, I love it. Especially Cath into a Celeste and a Krull. Like, that's really solid. So I feel like Calamity won the draft here.
Okay, so all about shutting down that Celeste. Is that what we're looking out for in this game? Anything that can come out from the side of Mouse to stop that happening?
It's really just going to be about Glaive and Lyra trying to protect the Celeste. You know, using the Bright Bulwark. The Bright Bulwark cooldown is going to be such a important management for the side of Mousesports to make sure Celeste stays safe.
So basically, this entire game is going to be down to the hands of this Celeste. Keep your eyes on it during the game. Hashtag Vainglory8. Let us know whether you want Mouse to rise to the top of Europe once more, or if you want Calamity to come on in swinging to the Vainglory8. Hashtag Vainglory8 on Twitter to let us know. But it's time to jump onto the Halcyon Ford for the second series of today.
One of the flashiest Vainglory 8 teams out there in Mousesports, going up against the flashiest, most high-powered Challenger Series team to come through the challenge battles in Calamity Reborn. This is going to be incredibly exciting, as this is a real treat here, Jackson.
This is one of the most exciting games we could have asked for week 1 of Split 2. Honestly, I can't believe that we're getting to see it so quickly here. It's also kind of heartbreaking for Calamity Reborn, because I'm sure they would have liked arguably an easier path to get to day number 2 in their first week, to show that they're the team that everyone thinks that they are. You know, they are an incredibly, incredibly strong lineup of players, and I'm sure if they were up against one of our weaker VGA teams, they'd have super good odds. As it stands, I think they still can do it, but you know, I'm sure they would have liked something a little bit easier.
Yeah, but what a way to do it, though. If you can come in here, take a series off Mouse, it would be a huge win. Up in this lane, we're going to have Apfel on to Glaive against Leon's Vox, which would be a pretty interesting matchup. You know, as Sweet J was talking about, the Vox can do pretty well, unless Glaive gets a great afterburn to follow up on. And we'll see also, I mean, maybe they can follow up with some double stuns later on in the game as well. For now, it's going to be Reborn and Aeon moving forward, looking to see if they can steal anything, but Justman, I'm the Doom have already cleared out their jungle, so they'll be getting out of here.
Yeah, so far not too much crazy stuff going on. Compositionally, I wouldn't expect that much crazy stuff to happen this game, at least not yet. It really is not a game with a super high octane composition coming out of one of these teams. I do think what we have out of Calamity Reborn is pretty interesting, though. We of course have the Catherine pick, which is not something we've seen a tremendous amount of recently. It's always been a captain that can be very effective, but not necessarily one that's been picked a ton. I think Silence is a huge tool against what Mouse is bringing, though. Mm-hmm. So having it both in the form of the Catherine Blast Tremor and the Vox Wait for it, I like that a lot. It also buys a lot of time for perhaps the backup of Aeon on that Kroll to get into position.
Oh yeah, if you can chain some stuns together. Also, I mean, it's just Aeon has to say, look, I've got my ult, I'm ready to throw it. Rerun says, all right, boom, there's your Merciless Pursuit stun. Much easier to land that double stun and follow it up with whatever combo they really want. Should be exciting. Of course, Kath got a buff on the Captain of the Guard in the last update, or maybe the one before that. I think it was just the last update. Going from 1 to 2 armor shield per stack on that heroic perk is a really big deal. I mean, that's a huge buff.
Oh, absolutely. It's very, very nice stuff. We'll see if it's going to be enough here. But talking about Apfel in the lane on the Glaive, let's do that for a second. This is a player who came into the Vainglory 8 last season, made some serious waves. I'm curious to see if his Glaive is as strong as his Vox has been. He certainly knows how to play against a Vox, given how much he plays it. But this is Leon we're talking about. You know, it's scary stuff.
But this is Apfel we're talking about. I honestly, like when I was going to intro this game, hold that, Aeon, on target, I'm the Doom, a lot of damage being taken. He should be able to just get out of position there, or into a better position, we should say, using his boots. With that, Calamity Reborn do have the advantage.
Yeah,
I say that. Justman hanging around. Justman, what's the play, bud? You don't have any more heals? Apfel's there. Dun, 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 dun. Doesn't even have to really heal too hard.
That was very close. It's a good thing Apfel was on the ball there. And also that he hadn't used Afterburn to, for example, harass Leon. That would have been heartbreaking. But yeah, very nice by Mouse. Let's see, though. I want to look at I'm the Doom real quick, because this Jungle Celeste, maybe not something that everyone is super familiar with. It's not necessarily the most common pickup. It does really nicely as it scales, though, with levels very highly. You want to get Overdrive on your Heliogenesis. It's extremely critical for a Celeste player, as I'm sure most people know. So if he can stay safe in the early game, if he can keep the farm going, that should actually be a really nice pick for Mousesports. It's also something which demands a very immediate answer in fights from the side of Calamity Reborn, and that might be a little bit difficult. I mean, Catherine, yeah, Merciless Pursuit's a great ability, but it's not a dash. You have to make your way in very, very manually, very telegraphed.
Yeah.
That can
I like the way you put it. Very manual movement there.
It is. I mean, you know,
linear.
a blink is very, very automatic. But yeah, I mean, that makes it very easy for core collapses. It's arguably the one thing which I think Catherine might be struggling with in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Riren's going to have to have clear focus in and around these fights. If he can get the Storm Guard up, it could be huge. If you have something go Supernova, you can reflect that back. Riren with the Merciless Pursuit is going to think twice about getting in there as he finds that Mouse are as 3 and have a bit of an advantage in the lane. Amfeld still holding onto that Afterburn, not ready to play games with Leon yet. And I mean, this is what you touched on before. Aeon making his way up here. Does he want to move forward? They're on to target. This is Justman taking a whole bunch of damage. And First Blood, Calamity Reborn, they see an opportunity and they just go for it very quickly.
Yeah, really nice stuff there. Calamity Reborn, the team I would expect to be making these very assertive plays. So far, they're doing a great job of that. And they do have the capacity to kind of snowball out of control here if their opponents are not careful. I think, given that they're running the Celeste on the side of Mousesports, they really need to be careful.
Really, really clean execution for them to go ahead and just take one kill and be like, all right, boom, we're going for Crystal Sentry. We're going to take the mids, we're going to take the fronts. A huge victory for Calamity Reborn in that macro gameplay right there. Very nice rotations. Aeon dips to shop, she's going to get charged up. This is a level 5 weapon infusion coming out for Leon. What's this all about?
Well, the infusion can be very strong. Oh, hang on a second. Nice!
Whoop from Hell's Heart, but the stun just holding him just long enough. What was that? Aeon, maybe Bright Bulwark playing some games with me there. Aeon's gonna go ahead and try and move down, clear out some scout traps, see what's going on down on that Tri-Brush. Look at the Solar Storm connecting on the Rio Ren. Big play from I'm the Doom.
Yeah, very, very nice stuff there. Great turnaround. They actually want more, but...
Oh, they go for more. They take more, Jackson. They want Apfel too. Apfel, get out of here.
Oh, man.
How about them Apfels? Aeon. He is playing this curl incredibly well. They're going to jump on I'm the Doom. What is this? He's like, yo, you Dark Potato, one of the best crawls ever, dude. I'm about to show you.
Gotta be careful not to chase a loss. Yeah, you know, you found that one kill with I'm the Doom. Great. That's not obviously the loss I'm talking about, but then after that, you need to be careful to not go in and like bite off too much, and then you lose that one kill and you keep chasing it. It's a very bad mentality to have from Mouse, which can be very, very dicey. Calamity Reborn with those 4 kills are now 2,000 gold ahead at only 6.5 minutes. They've got a tension bow and a poison ship on Leon at 6.5 minutes. This is a really rough position for Mousesports. I don't know if they can come back from it if Calamity Reborn plays properly. If they continue to apply pressure, if they continue to put their foot down on the gas, it's very, very difficult. Mouse vision is key. You know, I like that they're starting to lay some stuff down. They've absolutely got to continue doing that, as far as I'm concerned.
This is a scary position to be in if you're Mousesports right now. I was kind of feeling exactly what you were saying. If Calamity Reborn just continue to play cleanly, execute, move forward, methodically as they're doing, I don't see how they could actually lose the game. But moving right forward, Justman, he's going to be stunned up, doesn't have his ultimate. He's going to be chopped down. A big kill here for Calamity Reborn. And with that, looks like they're just going to get onto this gold miner. Pretty much every time they take a kill, they're taking an objective.
And that's one of the critical things to realize here, because so many teams don't necessarily translate the advantages that they have in fights to the important advantages they need to take on the map. They get another kill too. I mean,
wow.
It's non-stop here, Humanist. It's non-stop.
Dude, but you know what this feels like? It feels like, you know those games where you load it in, you can put like a handicap on yourself? So you don't hit as hard, you have less health overall. It feels like Mousesports loaded into this game with like half the health total compared to Calamity Reborn, and Calamity Reborn like double damage.
Yeah, it definitely does. That's what happens when you get 2 tier 3 items at 6 minutes. So that's what happens when Leon hits that kind of a spike very quickly. I don't know. This is... I'm trying to think. Okay, so Vision is obviously going to be critical for Mousesports to come back into this one. What else do they need? They've already got Overdrive on I'm the Doom. That's not doing anything. I don't know. This is really,
all right.
really
Well,
rough.
I've got my idea is I'm just thinking I'm the Doom really has to play super duper careful. I know that's obvious until he gets Broken Myth. Like I just feel like until he gets Broken Myth, he's not gonna have a significant damage output threat. Apfel getting lit up. Who's the Glaive? Who's the Crow? I thought Glaive was picked because he's pretty tanky and durable.
I mean, he certainly is, but not when you go Poison Shiv, Starblade is your first 2 items. Like, you do not have the damage you need if that's the build that you go. Or, sorry, the tankiness that you need. You have plenty of damage. But, yeah, it's not going to pan out against, for example, the huge amount of weakness stacks here, and also just the immense amounts of damage that Leon is doing. Apfel, in order for him to be effective in this game, from this point onwards, A, he needs to start building tanky, but B, he needs to actually find a target that he can isolate and pick and push back and that they can kill. I don't see that happening, though. I mean, Leon's already able to build into defense after his 2 offensive items. Like, it's... man.
Look, and you see the rotations that they've done, the last 2 rotations, super clean. Leon and Aeon have taken the backs together. So Leon's getting a little bit extra gold on himself, a little bit more than normal. 105 last hits, 9, almost 10 minutes in here. He's just doing really well.
Yeah, he's doing fantastically. Calamity Reborn aren't... one thing I like, obviously you've got to continue to apply pressure if you're ahead. Obviously you've got to leverage the kills you get into objectives. But I also feel like they're never pushing themselves too far. Like, have they even moved near the 2nd tier turret yet? No, not really. And I think that's critical to realize because they can't. Like, yeah, they're very, very strong, but they can't just dive tier 2 turret just yet. I think they need at least, like, 1 defensive item on Leon, for example. Because if he takes turret aggro, at the moment he's going to get blown up, right? So they're playing very smartly, but also playing perfectly? Can I say that? I feel like
I mean, I'm totally with you. I feel like this is some of, like, the cleanest Vainglory play we've seen in a while. I'm really excited. You know, Leon, he's been at the top before, right? Aeon's been there before. Rio Rin's played up at this level before. But Aeon, Rio Rin, we haven't seen them have huge successes. Aeon did pretty well with Gangstars, I think. But he's kind of like a quiet, passive player, I think. Leon, we know, is the opposite, and maybe this is just really good synergy for this team together, right? Like, you have someone making these shot calls to go, and everybody's just prepared, ready to follow up. Like, it feels like they're moving as, like, just one unit constantly. From the stuns coming out of Rio Rin to set up the From Hell's Hearts, the wait for it to follow, and everything in between. It's very coordinated.
You know, for the people who've been watching the Challenger Series, this won't come as necessarily a surprise. But for some of you guys who maybe last saw Leon in previous seasons of Vainglory 8, it's pretty nice seeing him in lane. I just want to say that, like, he really, I think, thrives in that environment, in this environment. He's not able to over-aggress in the jungle, which I think was a mistake that he frequently did make when he was in that position. As a result, he's relying on the team. Although, I say this, and look at him right now, like, by himself.
He knows he wants to fight. The wait for it connects.
What
on
is that
How did they connect on to 3? They're all forward. Aeon trying to find target. They reposition. Rio Rin coming through. The Blastomer connects on it too again. They are waiting, biting their time. Apfel, you gotta get out of here. He tries to stand his ground. How about a triple kill for Sir Leon, who you were just singing his praises? These guys, they just waited for the perfect opportunity. They connect. How did the wait for it hit 3 and the blast turner connected on 2 on the pixel edge? That was dumb.
They did not wait for the perfect opportunity. They somehow, like, forged the perfect opportunity out of nothing. Leon was the only person within a screen of the opponents. Yet somehow it works.
But, like, he had to have seen, like, whatever he saw based off their positioning. He was like, it doesn't matter if we're not on the cleanest of engage because they're out of position. Go, 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 go.
They're too far away from their turret. Let's just kill them. You know, like, they've left the safety of their bed, and now they're dead.
And now you stay in your bed or you'll be dead. Moving forward, Calamity Reborn trying to find the damage here for another. Oh, from Hell's Heart's going to connect. Just Man getting lit up. The fountain comes out. Just Man's down. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. This is just so hard to watch here. I thought Mousesports would be putting up a much bigger fight here in this game in particular. It does feel like Apfel's Glaive really can't accomplish anything.
What a reality check when a team that was in Challenger Series up until a week ago comes and just topples a team who's been at the top of the standings week by week. Really impressive stuff from Calamity Reborn. This is something we've come to expect from Leon whenever he is on a Vainglory 8 roster and playing in his main position. They just have strong performance after strong performance. Let's see if they can close it out, though. I mean, it isn't technically over yet, even though it certainly feels that way.
It's true.
They got to put that final nail in the coffin.
Or Mousesports will pry that coffin open and put you in it.
If there had been a Crow on the other team, I could have gone places, but you know, just didn't pan.
Could have. And Reborn, Merciless Pursuit on a Just Man. Leon's there. A little bit of healing does come through, keep him in a nice, healthy fighting shape. Calamity Reborn start to bear down onto this choke point turret, but not really getting in position where they're putting damage out onto the turret, just kind of choking Mousesports out, really. Just that's the best way to put it. Ooh, one stun into the from Elzard, into the blaster into the wait for it. Oh, those highlights. I'm like just giggly over here in my chair, Jackson.
I feel you, dude. Like, that was literally every single crowd control effect that Calamity Reborn had stacked perfectly, hard locking Just Man.
Can we get like some programmers from SCMC to just check for scripting on these guys? I just want to make sure this is all
one
legal.
Program. I feel like it's got to be just one running all 3 accounts, right? Because
Leon's playing. He's like logged into all 3 accounts at this point.
Got one running on his toes, that's for sure. I was gonna say actually before that fight, and I want to highlight just how strategically well Calamity Reborn is playing. Hopefully before an engagement happens here. If they wanted to make any more plays, they literally had to do it right then. Otherwise, they'd die and Kraken would go.
Leon's on to I'm the Doom, trying to kite back, but not quick enough from Elzard. And an auto from Leon takes him down. Wait for it, it's going to come through onto 2. Apfel melts, and now Just Man on the run. All of his activatables on cooldown, all of his abilities, well, there's his sigil, pretty much on cooldown. He's going to have to just dip and dodge his way out of here as Leon shoves the lane, and the other 2 from Calamity Reborn just start up on this Kraken. What a tough place to be in.
I don't even know if they're in a place right now. It's all over, I think, for the side of Mousesports. I don't see a way of coming back. There's only 2 turrets for this Kraken push to actually get through. Everyone from Calamity Reborn gets a free heal back to full. They get to spend their money. The steal does not happen. It's really time to start thinking about game number 2 here for Mousesports. It just is. They just got to start thinking about the draft. I think giving Leon the Vox, maybe not a good idea. Aeon has shown in seasons past, as well as this one, that his Kroll is very, very scary. Maybe the keyest lesson is giving them a composition that has the ability to stagger crowd control like this is going to end up in one person not being able to play a fight. You know, I don't know if there's necessarily an easy way around that. Maybe your carry picks Gwen. Something like that.
I mean, yeah, you got to have a get-out-of-jail-free card if you're up against the team of this caliber. And that's, I mean, not to get into Gwen too much. We'll see. Maybe in the next draft we can talk about those things. We're just going to pull up for a Blastomer off the Merciless Pursuit. Nice block there. Now Calamity are going to just hang on the backside of this Kraken as she marches forward. She's pissed off. Vein Crystal Turret 1 is down, 1 remaining. The wait for it's going to come through. Finds the silence. Can they follow up? Their rear end dropping low. Can they get a kill? Calamity Reborn just to make them feel good. Drop one of these guys right here. Mousesports. They just want to defend our base. Can we just stay alive? Can we not lose before 17 minutes at this point? Looks like there maybe is an opportunity.
Wow.
I don't know. Celeste going down. Aeon and Reborn onto the Vein Crystal now. Leon's zoned out, but it's not really a problem. What is it?
Double kill.
They did it! I think it is a step too far for Calamity Reborn. I was expecting them to back away. They're showing that they're mortal here. That's what's happening.
This was Leon playing games.
Leon, though.
That was pretty cute.
Oh, that was very cute.
That was pretty cute.
I think he's out, right? Apple, Afterburn, no energy, turret. Yeah. Peace. Wow, that's brutal as well, because that means there's no ace, which means that the ace minions are not going to push the turret. I think if there's an ace there, Mouse get 2 turrets. With no ace, they just get 1. So that's actually a big, big difference.
Big plays here, keeping them in the game. I mean, maybe it feels like they're still in the coffin, but somehow finding some damage through some cracks. Calamity, it does feel like Leon was playing with his food to me as they look to close that out, but this should be in short order here. It's like the net worth lead. We've seen much more devastating net worth differences, but it
somehow
just seems like
feels very
yeah, exactly.
That,
like
right?
they have complete control over the game. Absolutely, 100%.
It's really difficult for Mousesports to find an opening now because again, you know, you're always at risk of a backdoor. Someone like Leon can make that happen very quickly. The only saving grace here, of course, Lyra's on Mouse's team. So if they need to blink over the wall, they can. Leon is very close right now.
The wait for it's going to come through. 2-man silence. That was a 3-man silence. How does that actually happen? Solar comes through right back onto Calamity Reborn, but they keep moving forward. How about an Arcane Passage for all of them as they get a little bit closer to that Vein Crystal? This is Apfel trying to stand his ground. He'll take the Arcane Passage out. This I'm the Doom just gets melted. And while you may have stayed alive for a second, it will just inevitably still go the way of Calamity Reborn. 17-3, about 19 minutes in. Just a dominating performance here. And this is, for me, this was going to be the most exciting matchup today. The one I was looking forward to really the most. Just so much firepower on both sides. And wow, what a performance.
You know, it still was a very exciting game, but in like all of the wrong ways. It was just Calamity Reborn annihilating Mousesports. I don't know, other than maybe messing with the draft a little bit, what you're going to do, unless Mousesports shows a different team next game, because they really were on a different level.
Well, let's find out from our analyst Munchbles. I mean, was it a draft thing? Was it playstyle execution? We got to find out.